Hello everybody, welcome to Also Rusty Buckets. This video should likely be short. If you are not subscribed to this channel already, then go ahead and do that. About half of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. So if you fall into that 50%, then subscribe so you can get these basically daily NBA videos that are not going up on my main channel. Also, like this video, it helps. Other than that, what is there? I don't think there's anything. Oh yeah, there's a new deep dive tomorrow, so be ready for that. Anyways, today there was only 2 games to watch. I mean, there were 3 games to watch, but I only watched 2 of them, and that was Lakers versus Nets, which I'm pretty sure everybody was watching until it ended up not being a good game. And then there was Bucks versus Raptors. So the title of this video is about the Bucks, so I'm just gonna go over this Nets versus Lakers video. I saw a lot of people like putting genuine stock into the results of this game, and it's mostly just people on Twitter being intentionally toxic. But this game doesn't really matter. I mean, no Kevin Durant for the Nets, no Anthony Davis for the Lakers. I really don't care about the results of this game. As for some actual notes, I mean, for the most part, this game was just the Nets took a lead, and then the Lakers tried to make a comeback, and anytime they'd go on like a 5-6 point run, the Nets would come back and just make it a 20-point game again, and that happened over and over and over again. LeBron in this game did reach 35,000 points for his career, so good for him. He's third all time, and he's 3.3 thousand points away from Kareem, which he's obviously going to get unless he just retires after this season. So good for LeBron. Shout out to him for that. He had a good game in general here, but like the Lakers role players were not doing him any favors offensively. Defensively, I'll say the Lakers, they had a lot of good hustle plays. Marc Gasol played some good interior defense. Alex Caruso, a whole lot of hustle plays in this one. He's very clearly somebody who's just like laying it all on the line all the time. He got one steal in particular that looked like it was just going to be a basic pass, but he stole it and then passed it up to LeBron, who initiated a fast break. Or I don't know if it was to LeBron. I think he passed it to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who passed it to Montrezl Harrell for a dunk. But Alex Caruso, nice hustle plays there. And overall, the defense there was solid. But, I mean, it's Kyrie Irving and James Harden, and Joe Harris couldn't miss this game, as he usually can't most games. So that was a recipe for failure for the Lakers, which is why they didn't win this one. As for some other notes here, I mean, LeBron, there was a play. It was knocked out of bounds with like half a second left. And fucking Talen Horton-Tucker passed it to LeBron out of the corner. He hit a fadeaway at the buzzer, and it swished. And like I had a PTSD flashback, I swear to God, of the 2015 playoffs, round 2, game 4. The Bulls should have had that game, but they didn't call the technical foul on the head coach of the Cavaliers, but we're not going to go down that fucking rabbit hole because I could talk about that all day. Other notes here, I'm glad Shamet is turning his season around. He was really struggling to open this year, and it seems like every game I watch now, he's having a good shooting game. I actually should check his stats just to confirm that he actually did have a good shooting game, because there's a chance I was just missing some of those misses. Shamet had, he was 2 for 3 from 3, 3 for 6 overall. So good game for Shamet. It's nice to see that his shots are going in, because he was shooting like 30% from 3 after the first like 15 games of the season. He's turned it around. Also, I posted this on Twitter. Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest mid-range shooters ever, and he needs to start being in that convo for GOAT mid-range shooter. Now, I don't think he's really in the top 5, but like if we're having a very rough discussion, Kyrie, for his career, shoots about 30% of his shots from mid-range on about 46 to 47% from 10 to 16 feet, as well as 16 feet to the three-point line. And that's not counting shots that are in the paint and are basically mid-range shots, but I mean, technically you had a toe in the paint or whatever. Kyrie is just lethal from mid-range. He had like 3 straight possessions where he just went and hit a contested mid-range shot late in this game just to make sure that the Lakers had no shot at coming back in this one. And it's like, damn, dude, there's nothing you can really do about that. So, title of this video is that the Bucks are wasting Giannis. So, I've talked about this before on my main channel. I am really tired of watching Bucks games and seeing Giannis utilized incorrectly over and over and over again. I've made this point before. Giannis is a big man, and he's not a guard. Stop treating him like he's a fucking guard. I legitimately, and this is not an over-exaggeration, this is not a lie, this is not something I made up. I watched this game on a stream. You know, don't come for me, Popo. But I watched this game on a stream, And the play was Giannis was at about like where the high school 3-point line would be, at the top of the circle, but just inside the 3-point line, the NBA 3-point line. And he was just sitting there with the ball, and like 3 seconds passed, and then he drove, and something happened. And then I looked down for like 15 seconds, and I looked back up, and it was the Bucks ball again. And Giannis was in the same spot, and he did basically the same thing. And I thought, did the game buffer? Did it like go back? Did it rewind for some reason? No, the scores were different. So literally just the same shit again. And that's kind of the foundation of the Bucks offense. Now, I will say Jrue Holiday is not here, and the offense gets 5% more complicated once Giannis is on the team. But honestly, I am so fucking tired of Giannis being utilized like he is a guard, like he is a primary ball handler. That's not what he is. Just because Giannis is a 7-footer who's good at dribbling does not mean that should be his primary thing. Giannis should be utilized most of all in the pick and roll and in the post. He is solid in the post, but he could be one of the greatest roll men in NBA history, and he is rarely used as a roll man, especially in this Bucks offense. It actually boggles my fucking mind how little Giannis is used as a roll man. How do you look at Giannis and think, yep, we should have him dribbling the ball at the top of the key and driving inside? If he does not draw help defense for a three-pointer, then that sucks, because he's just going to, difficult drive. Sometimes Giannis drives in the paint without much of a plan, and that's because he's really not built to be driving with a plan. So maybe build an offense that utilizes the fact that he is a freak athlete, and not just be like, yeah, he's a freak athlete, so he can just figure it out. Like, you have the piece here to build an incredible offense, and instead you're like, let's just go with the simplest fucking caveman mind thing we can think of. Be like, Giannis big, Giannis go. That's the Bucks offensive game plan. I'm not kidding. Giannis big, Giannis go. That's what Mike Budenholzer has written on his fucking clipboard. That's it. And then, if Giannis go and paint defense come pass to Middleton or Brook Lopez, that's the entire crux of what the Bucks do. I really want Mike Budenholzer fired, and I didn't want to make this video about the Bucks because I did a video on Budenholzer, why he should be fired, 5 days ago, maybe 6 now by the time this has come out. I don't know, aging of a video or whatever, but I have to talk about it again because I'm so tired of this. I don't even know who my pick for the NBA, for the Eastern Conference Finals champion is. I don't fucking know, because the Nets have their defensive thing. The Bucks, their offense just is not as complicated as it should be. It's not utilized as properly. The players are not utilized as properly as they should be. Like, if Mike Budenholzer, my mindset on the Bucks being better this year, and why I was confident in them as my pick, was that Giannis would be utilized in the pick and roll far more this year with the addition of Jrue Holiday, who is an elite playmaker. But nope, I'm pretty sure Jrue Holiday is averaging like 4 or 5 assists right now on the Bucks. Let me actually pull that up just to confirm, because I know he's not being utilized in the pick and roll nearly as much as I would like him to be. Okay, so yeah, Jrue Holiday, 5 assists per game after averaging 7 last year next to Lonzo Ball. So what is this? Why? Fire Mike Budenholzer, please. Some guy asked me who's his replacement on Twitter, and I said, or who would be better than him that you could replace him with? And I said a blind, mentally disabled rabbit. Because, I mean, shit. The way the Bucks offense is, they don't even adjust at all. They do the same thing over and over again, and when it doesn't work, they just do it again. And why do you even bother? Why does Mike Budenholzer bother showing up? Because once you have the game plan established and you have your play calling established, what's to prevent the players from just running that themselves because they already know what they're doing? And if you're not gonna, the whole point after that is that for a coach is that they can make adjustments when it's not working. If you're not going to make those adjustments, there is no point of you being there. And for that reason, they need to fire Mike Budenholzer, because the ceiling of this team it's just short of champion, because Budenholzer is going to fuck them over time and time again. And I hate this because Mike Budenholzer actually is pretty smart basketball wise in terms of like developing actually good schemes. He got way more out of that 2015 Atlanta Hawks team than anyone had any business doing. But because of his weaknesses, his strengths are vastly, vastly less impactful because his weaknesses hold him back just as much as his strengths propel him forward. So for that reason, Bucks need to fire Mike Budenholzer. I'm tired of Giannis being utilized incorrectly. I feel like Giannis is going to waste his fucking career in Milwaukee so long as Mike Budenholzer continues to be the head coach of this team. Anyways, that's the Bucks. For some quick notes about the Raptors, because I know the Raptors are going to bitch about me not talking about them. OG Anunoby played some great defense in this one. Pascal Siakam had a really good game. Pascal has gotten to the point where I previously thought he was overrated, and now the pendulum has swung so far in the opposite direction to where now he's underrated. Like, there are people who think Pascal Siakam is not even an all-star caliber player, or even close to it, and it's like, bro, calm the fuck down. He absolutely is. Playoffs were fucking rough, but he's definitely an all-star caliber player still. Matt Thomas is a shooter. He had a lot of really nice shots in this one. And last note, really, Raptors fans on Twitter, specifically Robel on Twitter, if you know who that is, shout out to you, Robel. They don't seem to like Norman Powell. Like, they really don't like Norman Powell. And I understand his weaknesses. His defense is not as good as it was earlier on in his career, and he has a little bit of tunnel vision, sometimes takes low IQ shots. But just in general, I think Norman Powell is a pretty solid NBA player, and I can't be too mad at him. I don't know. I feel like that's a thing where if I was a fan of the team and I was paying more attention to the more intricate details of it, I would be frustrated by him. But from an outsider looking in, I mean, 9 for 12 from the field this game, 4 for 7 from 3. The Bucks actually made a late game push in the fourth quarter, and Norman Powell hit a 3-pointer that kind of was like, okay, the game's over. Yeah, Norman, I really like Norman Powell. I don't really like him. But, I mean, you know, there are little details I notice about the Bulls that I don't notice with pretty much any other team just because I'm not watching as intently as I do with the team that I'm a fan of. So that could be it. But I'm just like, I think Norman Powell's pretty all right. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Again, that deep dive, the third one, on Zion Williamson and specifically on how hype dies is going to be out tomorrow, Friday. So actually, it's technically today because it's 1 a.m. So it's going to be out today. That's how time works. All right. Just be ready for that, just so you know. Okay. Bye.